So, doing a Doctor Who review for Maria. Orphan 55. There's not even enough gin for this. Hello, Nerdagers. Welcome to Approach the Nerd. My name is Jett. Today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who. As you can see, I'm a Whovian. I like this subject. I like this topic. Not so much this episode. We're talking about Season 12, Episode 3, Orphan 55. Now, before we get started into this whole thing, I want to kind of give you a heads up. As I've already said, you already heard me say, I'm going to say it again. I didn't really like this episode. As most of you also probably did not. And if you did, you stay strong, soldier. Keep winning that war that you're fighting by yourself. Anyway, but I will start off with what I like about the episode. That way, it's not like I'm just completely ragging on it per se, but I'm going to rag on it so you can kind of prepare yourself for that one. All right, so what I liked. I did like the cinematography. I liked the lighting and the angles of the episode. I liked how the resort seemed very relaxed. The light was bright. It wasn't so bright. It felt like a paradise in the hotel. And I did like how when they were outside, on spoilers alert, if you hadn't seen it, why are you even here? But anyway, spoiler alert, when they went out on Earth and they all was all jacked up and damaged and ridiculous, yeah, whatever, it did look like a wasteland. They did a good job of that, kind of. There's this one scene, I'll get to that later. So, I do like Graham's episode a whole lot. Usually Graham doesn't do as much. Well, he did a lot in Rosa. That's true, and that was really cool. He was really active. For the most part, though, they kind of make Graham like almost a throwaway storyline character, and I don't like it too much. But in this episode, he seemed to have a little more agency. He kind of did what he wanted to do. He didn't always stray from it, like Jazz usually does, so that was a neat thing. He kind of took matters in his own hands when he saved Ryan and, did that fatherly kind of role. I thought that was really cool and brave of him. Usually when companions stuff like that, I sometimes find it idiotic because it's like, if the doctor said stay here, she knows everything. Really, she knows more than you can. I guarantee it. Just listen. They never do. I wouldn't either. I ain't gonna lie. So, and I also I did like the. It's such a man thing to say. The guns they used were kind of cool. It kind of reminded me of Halo, if that means anything. I know this is a really bad talking point, but it doesn't matter. I did like that. That was cool, and all that good stuff. And I like the Doctor's episode too, but I like her in all the episodes. I know a lot of people complain about Jodie Whittaker not being the Doctor or pretending to be the Doctor, It's stupid. Why don't you? It's a TV show, don't be a moron. But anyway, I did like how Jodie Whittaker did her role again, despite the fact they gave her so little to work with, but she did make it work. She still was convincing. I'm gonna get to that too in a second. And, it was... Jodie Whittaker to me on the screen, she's always fun regardless. Even though people don't always see her as like, well, she just does. She's like if David Tennant, got some longer hair and has some Matt Smith energy, that's her. I mean, if you like David Tennant, you like Matt Smith, you like Jodie Whittaker. She has a very Troughton kind of vibe. She has a very number 2 Doctor kind of vibe. And I do enjoy that about the Doctor. She's not angry at all. She's just energetic and wants to go out there and explore stuff. And she's a little alien. She's alien because no grown person is going to go out calling their friends fam all the time. So that's alien. I don't care what you say. So that's all that I really like. So let's get into what we're here for. What I did not like. A lot of things. First, back to the cinematography. So I don't know if they caught this, but when the truck stops because, it's plot device, it has to break down, or they have to get out of it because aliens are coming. You can see there are trees in the background shot. There's forest and nature in the background of this desolate wasteland planet. And I understand, crunch for time, gotta get these things done, got episodes y'all could at least cropped it out. You could have airbrushed it or something, y'all. I guess they just forgot. But anyway, also the suits of the monsters. Look, I get it, Monster of the Week. I've watched Classic Who. There's a lot of episodes I love, and I understand the bad outfits they used to do back then. I mean, have you ever seen the Mondosian Cyberman from the early Who? Back with, Hartnell? They look really bad. I mean, they look awful. But there's no excuse today. This show makes a lot of money. They have a lot of funds backing it. If they just kept the monsters in the dark or shaded or something you know when you see a horror movie from like back in the 80s and you can't really see the monster, you see the shadow or you hear the roar or you see the eyes and it's like, oh, what's that ghost being? It kind of scares the hell out of you. But when you can see like the zipper in the final scene, it's like, oh, I get it. This is make believe. All right, cool. And that's what it really felt like with the suits. I didn't like the whole whatever the hell Play-Doh that was made of. It just didn't look good. They'd been better doing claymation or something. I don't know. So, Hopper virus. The hell? Why? What was the point? Okay, it's I I see how it's supposed to have weakened down the defenses, and I guess that's a thing. Sure, whatever, that's fine. I guess call it what you want. But that it goes from machines to humans. On an imagination scale, the universe is very big, right? And there's a lot of stars and planets, whatever. Who knows what you can be affected with really, really, really. But it was purely a plot device as a throwaway. Now, as a positive, I was a good way to use a mistake like that. Like, oh, they used it to create the device to get out of there. Like, oh, okay. I see. But they could have did that later. They didn't have to throw it in the beginning and have Ryan suck his thumb next to some other girl and try to flirt. Who chats up somebody while they're sucking their thumb? I'm gonna try it. See how far I get. Jazz had like nothing in this episode at all, and which is weird because usually they have her doing so much more, taking much more control and command, and basically being the resident doctor when the doctor isn't around. In this episode, she didn't do anything but panic and get mad at the doctor for something, which is a big thing I'm about to get into. So, when you watch this episode, and the doctor is looking at the station sign, it's all in, was it Russian or was it Serbian or I don't know, something. And she realizes where they are at that moment. And then Jazz asks, Doctor, where are we? I think you already know. Well, when did you find out? Not too long after you did. Why? The doctor has been seen to go outside and smell the air and know exactly where he is, or what day it is, what's going on that day, the temperature for that day, the temperature the next day. Jodie Whittaker has touched down on Earth, tasted the dirt, and know exactly when and where she was supposed to be. You're telling me you went outside into the atmosphere and could not tell? You couldn't look at it and see? What? Why would you do that? It's so insulting to the fans when they make the doctor lesser just for plot convenience. There is even to the extent, like when we watch the show, we understand the doctor has their habits and their moods and all this other good stuff, but we don't always know what the doctor is thinking. We don't always know the steps they're going to take to get there. The episode itself reminded me of the Arrakis of the UK vibe, where it was kind of pointless. They went there, they saved 2 lives, haha, nice, and they went back just so the doctor can give us a message about environmentalism. So the plot in itself, let's get to the plot, the actual plot. So, pointless story. They go to a resort, the walls break down, which reminds me, there's an invisible wall outside the resort so they can't get out and be in that atmosphere that's toxic. How did nobody walk into a wall? It's a resort, you can go anywhere you want. Nobody ever just walked and just like bumped into it, like what the hell? Nobody ever questioned that? That never became a thing, you know? Like why they just now see this tear also when they've been there for this, standing amount of time. And I get the Hopper virus, infected it and made the wall weak. Where did it come from? They don't explain that. Like, and I don't know, I guess you don't really have to explain where a virus comes from. That's a little bit too much ado about something that's a throwaway anyway. But it's like, what? How did it even get there? You know what I mean? And like, anyway, so they all get together. The doctor's angry at human beings again for being human. And they're trying to fix the wall, but, nothing going. And it would have been just that and that's it. But then, of course, the older woman, I can't remember her name. It doesn't matter. She's a throwaway character. Her boyfriend, soon-to-be husband, or would-be husband anyway, gets kidnapped by the monsters of the episode, the monster of the week, and they go out to go save it. Now, this to me was dumb. Very dumb. The doctor has been in war. The doctor has made plans. And I've seen him in other episodes where he will just let somebody get kidnapped or captured. Like, there's nothing we can do. This happens a lot. Everybody's heard the doctor say this before. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. This is not a new thing for him. Why this one old person was so important? I don't know. And it was a super dangerous, risky move, and it almost got them all killed. So Like, I don't know, the doctor just seemed really like she just need to eat her Wheaties or something this episode. I don't know. But anyway, so they go out. The truck comes to a stop and then doesn't restart because the monsters come. And then the man proposes to her from outside the truck and then begs for death. I guess because we don't know why. They don't show us. We don't know if he's being tortured. We don't know if he's being eaten. We don't know if he's being controlled by mind or anything. That's not important. I guess they were just scary as hell. And he was like, I'm done. I'm over it. Shoot me in the chest or something. I don't know. And her screaming. Okay, so I don't know what else she's been in. This was not her role at all. Her acting was forced. It was uncomfortable. It's just her yelling out his name all the time. And didn't like that. It was actually annoying. I almost actually stopped watching it when she kept screaming. I was actually kind of glad, and it's going to sound mean, I don't care, when she got killed off. I'm not going to lie. She was annoying. Hate me. Whatever. At me. I'm available. I got a YouTube, Instagram. Tell me how you really feel. I'll just laugh and drink on my downtime. Anyway, so them leaving the truck to survive, which is weird because they just use this little bracelet thing to a nose thing, whatever, so they can breathe in the non-atmosphere they were in, which is weird anyway. But the atmosphere was destroyed by environmentalism, which means radiation is high on the planet now. Shouldn't they not be catching cancer or something? I mean, okay, let's think about this in a realistic way. So we know that the sun produces radiation, right? And we know the sun has a lot of neutrinos in it. And they do reach the planet. We just can't see it. It's too fast and all that good stuff. You do know when you get sunburned, when it gets too hot, that's radiation. That's what that is. That's what it's doing. It's not, when you think of heat itself is not a property in of itself. Heat is a byproduct of another object that's moving faster to create that heat, you know? So when you're in a planet that's radiation high, it is hot and it is painful. That's why you don't go when they have radiated planets. You don't go out into anywhere where radiation is high. That's why you can't go to Chernobyl. There's a reason for all these things. This from a scientific point of view. But anyway, I digress. So they go underground. They find a subway to go into as they're moving. And the doctor realizes that the creatures are actually breathing out oxygen and in carbon dioxide like trees. Now, if it was... I honestly thought that was a neat little plot point. That was cool. Human beings are trees. You know, everybody's a tree. Captain Planet throwaway. If you get it, like in the comments. Or like down below. If you get it, like, or not, like anyway. Thumbs up. But no, they found there were trees. It helped the doctor get more air back because the doctor was too busy talking and running back and forth and wasted all her oxygen, which is ridiculous. It makes no sense. On the moon with the Jadoons, the doctor he was walking around carrying Martha, and there was no air. And he was over going, please, please. Because Time Lords have much better lungs than we do, and their internal biometrics are more powerful than ours. They can resist more. Why is that she running air right now? Is she just like, the more I think about it, the more I can't stand how they made the doctor just like human in this episode, and it really kind of bugs the crap out of me. Anyway, so yeah, that she finds out that because it breathed into her thing and she got oxygen back. She's like, oh, they're like trees. I'm like, oh, that'll be a cool thing they can come back to. Nope, no, that sometimes was relevant. It didn't matter that. So they go back. The monster's still whatever. And it's weird because, you know, even though they're creatures that don't speak much English, the doctor's also a psychic and it can read minds and talk to them via psychic link. None of that happened. She didn't even try to communicate with them. She just kind of ran off. Like, oh, no, that's dangerous. Nope, none of that. Nope, that's a roach. I'm done. Good. Thank you. So they get back to the hotel resort thing to find a way off. Now, by this point, everybody's dead but our main cast of characters. Also, while they're in the tunnel, we realize that the young lady that Ryan was flirting with is the daughter of the woman who's run the resort. If you see this episode and you couldn't tell from the beginning, none of us could because there's no family resemblance. It has nothing to do with the color. They just look nothing alike at all, which is even more strange because she didn't notice her daughter when she saw her. She must have been a really crap mom. That's all I got for that one. Sorry, I don't know. I mean, how you not recognize your own daughter? So anyway, the daughter comes up there to blow up the resort to spite her mom, which makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so you may not have caught this if you only watched it one time. Or You watch it twice, 3 times. Because the story just drags and doesn't go anywhere. So the resort is there so they can help re-terraform the planet so it's breathable again. So humans can come back home. That was the whole point of those resorts being there. That's why they're called orphan planets. They're trying to give these planets parents, so to speak. Or humans. Parents. So that's the whole goal of this. Why is that you're so mad at your mom, you want to do some eco-terrorism in reverse to teach her a lesson? What? Why? What are you doing? Like, she's actually trying to help your species. You might want to sit back and let her do. Could you imagine, like, you had a parent in the military going overseas to, to fight? Imagine this. So it's World War II, and they go overseas to go fight in Germany and all that stuff. And as a child, you're so upset because your dad has been away from you in the war for like months now. So you purposely go there to destroy the tank that he's using to survive. Because you're going to listen to me. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe her and Ryan deserve each other. I don't know. Ryan's not too bright. Anyway, so they create the didgeridoo, and the father and son get away, which I actually kind of like that because I like the kid in the end. I was like, oh, he can survive? Well done. All right. And then, of course, Doctor and Fam get to go and they teleport back to the TARDIS. Mother and daughter go out in a blaze of glory. I mean, would you really care? No, you don't care. Boring. Anyway, so they get back in the TARDIS, right? Back to the TARDIS. Yay, we're all back together in this episode. Cool. I'm glad it's over. No, it's not over. Because the doctor, she has to have this. And I hope Jodie Whittaker, when she read the line she had to read, she like choked a little bit on her own vomit. So it's okay. I'm not against environmentalism. I know we have problems, and I am very much so for fixing ozone and picking up trash and recycling and all that good stuff, because you only have, well, there are more than one. If you only have this one planet you're on that you know of, period, you need to take care of it before it gets rid of you, period. We get that. But to give an EPA-esque first grade version speech to the audience about why you have to take care of your planet, it felt like those PSAs at the end of Captain Planet back in the day, when there's like, sometimes we do things that help the planet. Yeah, so make sure you always recycle. And always make sure you pick up your garbage in your room and eat your vegetables and do your homework. The power is yours. That's what it felt like. And if I was like 6, that may have been like, oh, man, that was dope. I get the point, but find a better way to do it. And if you're going to do it, interweave it in the episode so it doesn't insult the viewer. And I hate it when shows insult the intelligence of the viewer. I can't stand that. Don't get pedantic and speak down to me. I'm watching already. I get you have a message, just get it out. You don't insult the person listening to it by over-explaining it in the end as if it wasn't in the episode in the first place. We got that. They destroyed their own planet. When you said that there, 100% understood. That's all I'm going to say about this, so I don't curse too much and stomp in upset neighbors. And I might have gone too long anyway. So, be that as it may, Orphan 55, didn't like this episode. I would 10 out of 10 wouldn't watch it again. This one episode is going to just sit. I'm not buy the box sets, and I will buy the box sets. Never watching that one. I'm not. I'm dedicated to the show, but keep that one in the basement. Anyway, thank you for watching The Postal Nerd. If you want to become a juror and all that stuff, I'm sure she's going to tell you at the end of the episode and give you that whole spiel and speech. So do that. Also, I have my own channel, Jett, Jett, space Groove, Groove. That's 2 O's, because you spell it correctly. And I do martial arts stuff, martial arts videos, and I also talk about martial arts. If you would like, you can leave comments about what you want me to talk about if you like my martial arts stuff and think I'm, pretty amazing. That was corny. And I can talk about those subjects as well, because I've been doing this for almost 30 years now. So, anyway, that's that. Have a good day. Eat your Wheaties and be smarter than she was in this episode, because I have nothing else. I'm done.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.